Right, so I thought to give a bit of background about myself, my formative years, since this is about music and how I came to find a path that led me to making opera. So, um, consequently, I'll start at the very beginning, and it's where I was born, I suppose, is that point. Um, it was in Tysely, Birmingham. Um, I was born at 5:41 in the morning on New Year's Eve, 1960, and I'm a Brummie. Therefore, if you want those of you who are interested in the esoteric background, I'm a Capricorn, ascendant Sagittarius. Just I was born at the breaking of dawn, and I have a gibbous waxing moon, and that's in Gemini. My Mars is in Cancer, so quite a watery, fiery person in that sense. Um, my Chinese horoscope shows me to be a metal rat, whatever that is, and my numerology shows my life path number as being number 5, and my sacred animal totem I read somewhere is two monkeys, and that is another story because there were two monkeys in my life at about the age of 6. I had a Catholic upbringing. I was a pupil at Our Lady of Lourdes school in Birmingham, and that that era introduced me to music. It's quite beautiful. The melodies, many of the hymns, and those that music of beauty was instilled in me. Sometime after my first communion, my parents moved house, and my sister and we were a different part of the city of Birmingham, and we were enrolled in an Anglican school, and so I found the education far superior to the Catholic, but I tell you, the school dinners and the music were far better over the other side of town. It was not on a par with what the Catholics served. However, it was here that I composed my first ever tune in the playground. I was age 10 at the time. So music's in me from an early age. I never realised what my songwriting in the decades that followed belied. Namely, I was having a talent for music, in writing for music. I can't I can't write music, score. I've never been schooled in that. However, as a librettist, and that's where it all started back then. Little did I know. Um, all those scribblings, all those years of writing. It was good practice, though. I was honing my skills looking back on it. I learnt to layer, I learnt to bridge, and to arc the narrative. Um, my vocabulary expanded. I realised I have a natural ear for music. Um, in my teens, I would oft hole up in the front room at my family home, and be listening on my father's stereo and to his collection of Reader's Digest albums. And as my family was sitting in the other room watching evening TV, I'd be playing. I'd be on my own voyage of discovery. It would be a bit of an eclectic mix. My goodness, yeah, it was listening, but it was discovering, and it was music. I had no peer group to decry me for listening to James Last. The internet was not around back then, remember? talking the late 70s and into the 80s. Yeah, it was James Last, there was Jamaican Farewell, Harry Belafonte, um, then The Lion Sleeps Tonight. But really, the classical music was much more gripping, and I always remember listening to Coppélia, Velse, and Alfvén's Swedish Rhapsody. That was fabulous. You could just escape from the mundanities of life listening to such music. It lift you up, and you just imagine yourself being taken into another world. It was fabulous. I've been listening, of course, to other music. A New World Record, I remember, was the first album that I bought. I loved the segueing of classical and rock, which was ELO. I had discovered the Electric Light Orchestra. Rockario, in effect, was my introduction to opera back then. And the thing was, as they advanced, though, beyond Mr. Blue Sky and into sort of electro, I don't know, club sounds, I'd abandoned them. But then the time of the 70s and 80s was alive with music. There was music was more melodic, I feel. Maybe it's my age. There seemed to be more layered nuance in the music, and storytelling. It was much more interesting, fabulous music. Meanwhile, in the other room, I was ploughing a furrow through one particular track. It was the Tchaikovsky Romeo and Juliet. That's just an incredible piece of work. Really, just his fantasy overture. Really, it's aptly named fantasy. I've seen pictures. It gives me goosebumps still, listening to that music. Autumn, dark evening as the night's closing. Earphones on, music at max, and just escaping. It was, I don't know, it was a bit of a Lion, Witch and Wardrobe portal. That Reader's Digest collection of my father's. It's that power in music to emote, to create a masterful image from music and words. It's just magic, and I really, yeah, I'm just so pleased I discovered music through this path, which at the time, I don't know, I was just adrift. But I'm an artist, and thank goodness I kept to what I believe in, music. And I suppose, did I become an artist, or was I at birth born an artist? I suppose if you go back to the astrology at the beginning, you can read my chart and say, aha, look, yes, there it is, it's all in the stars. Karma. About the age of 17, I was 17, I started an apprenticeship, mechanical engineering apprenticeship at Land Rover in Birmingham. Looking back at it, I wish some wizard had stepped out of the clouds and whispered in my ear and said that choose theatre. At least that would have been a better option. As it was meant to be. One of my colleagues on that course was a chap in a band, and I asked if I could write a song for him. I set myself that challenge, and he agreed. And I wrote a song, and it was performed. Unfortunately, I never got to see it, and the band broke up the very next that day, so I never did see my first song performed. Anyway, as it was, throughout the years of working in the engineering job, I found it was like treading water, but the music kept me afloat, kept me sane, and kept my spirits up. Incidentally, you can hear some of my tracks on SoundCloud. Just stream Red Bard Composer, and I'll put the link on this text associated with the vlog. So just scroll through and follow the link. One of the tracks is Mississippi, and one of my dreams is to see it performed at the New Orleans Jazz Festival. That would be fabulous, and that's where I wanted to link in with the New Orleans Opera House and Lila Palmer, who's general manager and artistic director over there, my coach before she took up that role of New Orleans general manager. I'd love to get it performed out there. I'd envisage Hugh Laurie on piano tinkering to my tune, a countertenor singing Mississippi, the tagline, a mute trumpeter in the background as well, all the sweet laid back rhythm. And then moving on to my Blue River track, a deep Nina Simone singer vocals with a tenor sax bridge. Fabulous. I'd love to go. I'd love to see New Orleans. Anyway, truly, when all was bleak in my life, my creative muse kept me busy and happy making music. That's the end of part one. I'll make part two some other time. Keep watching this channel. Thank you. Take care.